Da-da-dun. Good morning, artists. Happy Thursday. It's not nearly as sunny today, but it's good for the plants, right? We love a good rainy day. Maybe we'll get a thunderstorm. I'm a big fan of thunderstorms. So we're just going to keep working on some artwork today. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Had our staff meeting. That was a little bit earlier. It was nice to get a chance to see all the other teachers and check in with everybody and just kind of catch up on all the business. We only got a few more weeks left. It's kind of crazy to think about it that way. It's definitely been a very strange school year. So projects are going to be due tomorrow. Make sure that you're working on them. I've seen some people getting them in already. It's fantastic. I love the stuff that you guys are turning in already. I've seen some really interesting and cool designs going up. So I'm excited to see more of those. We're going to be working on our Mars Lady some more today. So I'm going to get you turned around and show you what's going on. Whoosh. So during the staff meeting, because I can't just sit still and be quiet and not have something going on, I did a little bit of extra pen work just to get her a little bit further along so that we can go pretty much right to our coloring. Get my pencils out in handy. I do have my large tea thermos again, so if you guys hear that slurpy noise, that's just me again. That's me getting tea. Okay, let's get started. So Mars, the planet, it's called the red planet, so we're gonna have to go with lots of red on this one. So let's just kind of pull a couple colors out and have handy. Some reds and oranges. We'll get some of these. Have those handy. Get this orange. This is a tiny little orange. What color? That's just basic orange. Might have to get some more. We'll see. And we're also going to have to do her skin tone as well. I think we're going to have, since we don't want to copy too many things, but most of the other planets don't have a reddish tone, so I think we'll be pretty safe with her. Our sun lady had very red hair, though, so we'll have to go with something a little different from her. So maybe we'll kind of go dark. We haven't had a chance to use a whole lot of dark colors in this yet. So let's see. We've had a little fun with different eye colors. Let me even pull up a real quick picture of the planet Mars, so we get a nice reference going. That'll do it. Open that picture. So you guys can kind of see. I don't know how well this will turn, but I got my computer over here. Yeah, the arm itself won't turn quite that way, but I got my picture up and ready of the planet. Got my chat up there too, in case anybody's got questions or comments to make. All right. So I'm going to give her a slightly lighter kind of skin color. Not too bright. I'm going to go with this kind of salmon pink color. And actually, scratch that. Even before that, let's get the areas we know will be left white, which right now is pretty much just around the eyes. I ran upstairs really quick after my staff meeting just to, make sure life on the dog floor is peaceful. They're not really fans of coming and lying down here, and I've tried setting up like beds and blankets and stuff to kind of encourage them, like, hey, you could come hang out down here. They'd rather not. They'd rather stick upstairs and be near the doors and the windows to keep an eye out for critters. But I popped up and they were both, each of them were on a different couch, passed out. which I think is that's been like normal rainy day weather. When it's rainy outside, the birds and the squirrels and stuff tend to stay away a little bit more, so the world is not as exciting. You're like, there's nothing happening, might as well nap. Thanks, phone. So I'm excited this weekend. It's going to be kind of nice out. And we decided to, since we'll have some nice weather, it looks like on Saturday, my brother and sister and I get to go out and visit our parents, who we haven't seen for quite a while because we've all been social distancing. We're going to go out by their house. They've got a nice big piece of land. They could probably have a farm on it if they wanted. We're going to go and hang out with our parents and get a chance to see them and connect. And we didn't get to see our mom on, the plan was we were going to see him on Mother's Day. But with the weather making that wintry turn again, we had to put that off. We'll get to catch up this time. This color that I'm using, salmon pink, it's not exactly a pink, but it's definitely a very warm color. It's very peachy. It's very orange. It has a lot of orange in it. It's got a little red in it. It's going to give her a very warm feeling tone to her skin. I'll have to see what color it does, but having this kind of tunic almost on her, it's funny because she feels a little bit like that kind of a frilly skirt feels like it should be very girly. But she is decidedly like not girly, she's very tomboy. You know what I forgot? I forgot her bald head. Got coloring around that mohawk. There we go. Alright, so we got that color. I'm going to use maybe a little bit of this peach, and looks like we're going to use some of this sienna brown. That'll be our shadow color. So at the end of the school year coming up, I'm going to have to start making some kind of summer plans, yeah? I mean, it's going to be a very different summer, I'm sure, than most of us are used to. I'm going to have to still be taking care of ourselves and wearing masks and everything. I'll be curious to know what you guys are thinking of doing. I'm considering keeping the stream going because it's kind of been nice for me, at least. Just kind of having the chance to make artwork. We'll see. I don't have like fancy productions, so that's probably why we're not getting, we don't get too much traffic over here on the art channel. Probably if I was doing more follow-alongs. Do a little Bob Ross, right? Maybe we'll do some writing. Maybe I'll make a book, you guys. Art project book. Book of art lessons. What might be nice with that is, if I have the time then, over the summer, maybe I'll use the streaming time as a way to record making the projects. Oh, I just got some thunder, you guys. Did you hear it? I don't know if it was loud enough to come through the microphone, but for a moment I thought, did the dog jump off of the couch again? But no, it was some thunder. I'll still have to take my classes over the summer, of course, that I've been taking for the last year. But maybe it'll be nice. Looking into doing making a little art book. We'll think about it. My sister's been doing well with her own self-publishing, so maybe that's something to look at. So next week we have a little project. We're going to do some origami. So we're going to have to start saving up some paper. I have to put a little memo on Google Classroom. So any of you that don't watch the videos, you'll know to start saving up. Now that was the sound of a dog jumping off a couch. Pencil sharpener, watch your ears. So I used that brown to create like a shadow. I'm going to use, this is just the peach, to help to start blend that in. And then we'll go back to that salmon color to help with the rest. Probably add a little bit of white too to help lighten things up a bit. more thunder. Hopefully the warmth and the thunder and the rain is going to start waking up all the plants. We've had the trees blooming in the neighborhood. Lots of flowering pear trees out here in the Canton area. The other day when I walked the dogs, it smells so good because, you know, every other house would have some kind of a flowering tree because it's like the popular thing in this area. Everybody's got pear trees. You just walk underneath one and you just get that great smell. Have to watch for when there's a break in the rain to take the dogs for their afternoon walk later, though. Otherwise, we're gonna get wet. Scoochy, scoochy. Keep moving it on up. Had a good day yesterday. I got some mail. Been following this comic book for years now for one of my favorite shows, and I got the new comic book in the mail yesterday, so I got a chance to read that. Even though I found a site online that was also doing translations, because unfortunately, the published book coming out through our bookstores here is pretty far behind. It's like several months behind what's being released currently in Japan, because they need the time to, of course, translate it and everything. But some people who are online who find other translated versions, they spoil stuff. And I was tired of getting everything spoiled. So I'm still buying it because I want to support the author and the creators, and I want them to continue to, translate good comics like that. So the book I got was a part that I had already read a while back, but it's been good to kind of catch up. That might be something I end up doing this summer too, is rereading some of my favorite stuff. Sharpening. I'm probably due to reread my favorite book, actually. I didn't get a chance to read it last year since I was doing my online classes, so that took up some time. And I also was trying to catch up with some of the Rick Riordan books, reading the Norse mythology one. But my favorite book is called Watership Down. And it's a fantastic book. And unfortunately, the author is a great writer. I mean, I love Watership. I tried to read one of his other books, and it was super depressing. Would not recommend. I didn't even end up finishing it. It was a ridiculously long, just over the top kind of book. I couldn't finish it, which is unusual. I usually will finish a book, you know, no matter how crazy it is. I mean, I read all of Twilight, you guys, so that should tell you enough right there. More sharpening. This pencil's getting super low. I'm going to use this lighter peach color to do some more blending before I consider bringing in the white colored pencil, because the white will just take away so much of the color. So we'll use this first. But in any case, my favorite book, Watership Down. And it's going to sound really ridiculous when I tell it to you. And you're going to think that it's crazy, and it sounds like it should be like a kid's book. It is the story of a group of rabbits, like bunny rabbits. And one of the rabbits has the ability to kind of get glimpses of the future. He will have visions and feelings, and especially regarding possible disaster. Most of his future telling is definitely focused on the idea of danger. There's something going on. There's a dangerous presence. Things like that. So he gets a prediction of doom for the home where all of them live. They call it it's called a warren. Is a group of rabbits. And he gets a vision that their whole warren is possibly going to be destroyed. And his brother, Hazel, believes him. So like, you know what? You know, things haven't been great in their warren anyway. They're overcrowded. There's a lot of people. Anyone who's not in the kind of elite guard for the leader rabbit, they kind of get the short end of the stick. You know, the focus on that was crazy. Sorry about that, guys. My hand being right there. So they decide they're going to leave. And they talk to a couple of other... they try to first get the leader, their chief rabbit. They try to convince him that they need to leave, that they should get out of there. Something bad's coming, we need to go. And the chief is just like, no, that's ridiculous. We're not going to uproot all of these rabbits and their families and, you know, the babies and whatnot. We're not going to just pick everybody up and take off. Doesn't believe him. Doesn't believe him that danger is coming. So they talk to some of their friends. They convince some of their friends. And just some other rabbits that are generally unhappy to go along with them. And the first part of the book is just all their adventures of getting... Actually, just like getting away. They have to kind of make a run for it because... you know, they don't want their rabbits to leave. The more rabbits they have, they feel the better. They don't want them just taking off. And of course, a rabbit's world is very dangerous. You've got out in the wild, you've got dogs and foxes and badgers and so now where you feel that might still be, you know, it might feel like it's still a little bit silly. Because they're rabbits. But the characters are excellent. He manages to write them so like they're still rabbits. It doesn't feel like you're talking with people. It's not like a people mindset in a rabbit body. It's definitely, these are rabbit characters. Like if you tried to rewrite the story with them as people, like a similar story of people leaving their kingdom or whatnot, it wouldn't quite work out. Their way of doing things is very different. There's awesome things like they have their own language. And the author is so great about teaching you little bits of that language that by the time you get to the end of the book, sometimes the rabbits will actually they'll speak a full sentence in their native language. And you'll understand it because he's slowly been teaching you little bits of it throughout. Things like the moon. They don't call it the moon. They call it inlay is their word for it. And in the beginning, they'll talk about, we're gonna start when the moon rises. We're gonna start at Fu Inlay. So Fu Inlay is like risen moon. And after the first couple of times where they, make a point of making sure that's what they mean, eventually they don't have to say it anymore. They just be like, all right, Fu Inlay, guys, we're gonna start, and you already know what that means. Let's give this a quick little shake off, get all the little dusties off of there. That's not too bad, actually. I ain't even mad at it. Well, I'll get a message from my sister. Just letting her know that we got a little thunder. She can be jealous. I totally colored in her eyebrow. That's okay. I'm gonna give her dark hair anyway. So let's go ahead and do that. But what we're gonna start off with this super dark Tuscan red. It's a very dark red. It's got a little bit of a blue to it. So it's almost starting to get into purple, but not quite. So the book has some really fantastic characters in it. I really enjoy reading it. I've read it. I couldn't even tell you how many times. There's no way to count. I first found it though. There's actually a English made in the UK for, animated story, animated movie. It is definitely not made for kids though. Like little kids. The rabbits fight. It gets vicious. It was not, when I first saw it, I was pretty young, and it was very unexpected. And if you talk to anybody who used to see it, it kind of like some people would argue that they were traumatized by it. Because they were expecting a cute story about bunnies, and then it ended up being this like war epic. They go to war with another rabbit clan later on in the book, which is pretty amazing. Deals with a lot of heavy issues too. some things that are like a very human issues, but handled in a very rabbit way, which is kind of fun. But I'd seen the movie, and then when I found out there was a book, I had to look up the book. Netflix actually made a animated series, and I feel like I watched it. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't really remember it though. I think I just remember being like, I went into it already kind of feeling like there's no way they're going to be able to either capture the greatness of the original movie being as dark as it was, and they're not going to be able to really, I think, do the book justice, because I think they were trying to like soften it a bit so that a younger audience could see it. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember anymore if I saw it or not. That just tells you how what kind of an impact it had, that I don't remember it at all, except for being underwhelmed by it. Oh, look what I did. I brushed it with my hand. That's what you're not supposed to do. Not supposed to use your hand. Just gets it all in the paper. There. I like that. It's a nice color. I want her to have some brighter eyes. I had a couple of brightish eyes I want her to have. Let's start off with this kind of orangey color. The planet itself is definitely more of a orangish red than a pinkish one. So we might have to edit some of our color choices in here. That's looking cool. Sneak just a tiny bit of this super dark red in the edges. Yay. There, now she got her eyebrows back. I'm gonna give her some thicker eyebrows. Alright, so color scheme wise, like I said, we want to try and stay away from things that are too pinkish. So let's keep we're gonna keep out these oranges. It's a little bit pinky, isn't it? Test paper. No, it's not so bad. Keep that. And we're going to keep out, not magenta, keep out scarlet red, and we'll keep out the Tuscan red and the crimson red. The crimson's a little bit darker. Yeah. We're going to sneak some kind of this golden color too. So we're going to use this, especially in her jewelry. Try to give it kind of a goldish appearance. These areas that look a little kind of metallic. Last night there wasn't much on to watch, TV or YouTube wise, so my sister and I decided to put on a movie, and we watched Into the Spider-Verse, which is a great movie. It is animated if you haven't seen it, but it's just such a fun movie. And I remembered seeing it in theaters and loving it. It was just so good. But not too long ago, we found this YouTuber. Pause. Sharpening. We found this YouTuber called Sideways. And he's a music analysis. And if you guys are music fans and all, you really should try to check him out. He does all these great talks about how music is used in different movies, and especially discussing like themes of music and how music tells a story within the movie. Talks about, if characters have a redemption arc. Like he has a whole bunch of ones about like Star Wars especially, and points out things like like Kylo Ren from the recent movies. He had a really obvious theme, but in the latest movie when he decides to switch sides and goes to help Rey, you hear his theme playing, but it's like in a slightly different key. So it's like his redemption theme. It's like, oh, now he's working for the right side, so he gets a slightly different theme. His music gets to change. And I recently watched one about Into the Spider-Verse and how it was showing off the journey of the main character, Miles. And it just made me appreciate it so much more to like just think about all of the work that just the music composer put into the whole piece. All right. So we've got these little arrow pieces. Now, they kind of look like envelopes. That wasn't the intention. The intention was to try and do that little arrow shape without turning it into a triangle or any of the other shapes we've already seen. But that means I get to play around with the colors on them. I think I want to do her main outfit though first. So let's start with that. We're going to start off with this lighter pale vermilion color. So I'm putting her outfit, her dress, in kind of a middle tone red. I'm going to start off with this kind of lighter orangish just to set the tone for it. But then I'm going to add in darker reds to it. The idea being I want this to be kind of a middle of the road red, so I can use light and dark on all of these little, on all the envelope designs to really make them stand out. So after this one's going to be Jupiter. She's going to have to be a super tall. She's going to have to be the biggest character here. For certain. And after that's going to be Saturn. And I'm kind of looking forward to Saturn, because Saturn is most well known for its rings. And I am just going to go to town with putting rings on her. Not literally like finger rings, but like looping things everywhere. It's going to be insane. I think she's going to look super cool. Now, I'm pretty sure that Uranus also has rings. Or is it Neptune? Maybe it's Neptune. One of them. Everyone always pictured Saturn with the rings because it was discovered first. Not too many, let's start darker. Once they discovered one of the other planets had rings, it was kind of like, nobody really like shows it that way that I've seen. That's why I'm not even sure for certain. I mean, granted, it's really hard to see things way out in space like that. And it takes things so long to get anywhere. It's like you could send something to try and go take a picture of Pluto, and we won't see pictures of it for like years. I'm pretty sure that they, if I remember right, a couple of years ago, they had actually sent something out to Jupiter. But it was one of those situations where it's like, where... Thanks, phone. I hope that was telling me I'm right. It actually, it's like they had to send the probe out, but then there was like, it's not going to come back. They're just going to, they're flinging it out into space so it can take as many pictures as possible, and eventually it's just going to get too far to send a signal, or batteries will run out, and then it'll just be gone. Like, really? I'm just super curious because they've been talking for a while that there might be more planets in our system that are just super far away that we haven't been able to see. They're basing it off of the way that other planets move, that there's something out there that has a pretty strong gravity. I think that'd be fascinating. Find out there's another planet in our system. So much we don't know yet. I'm sorry, I keep going down and coloring in the skirt, and it's hard to see it, isn't it? Let's see if I can show just a little bit more. Better center, please. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Tea break. Today I chose it's called Christmas tea, which it's nowhere near Christmas, I know, but it's got like a really nice warm flavor. Thought about doing cinnamon, but I was like, I just did cinnamon not too long ago, so let's get some let's do a Christmas tea. this color. It looks good on her. Now it feels like this is going pretty quick, but I know that her little designs are going to take, they're going to take some time to do. So we're almost getting all the big stuff out of the way first. And then we go back to our main color again. Remember, always layer up and mix your colors. Just adds so much to it. It's a nice color. Nice red-orange. True story. Orange used to not have its own name. Orange was just either considered a very light red or a darker yellow. From my understanding, the fruit came first. They named the fruit. And they eventually started to refer to this reddish yellowish color as being like an orange. Art history lesson. You're welcome. Probably why there isn't like a huge range of orange colors, but you do get like a huge range between green and blue, even into like violet. I'll tell you what's annoying. You know what's really annoying? Colored pencil boxes tend to come with like a purple, a violet color, and that's it. You get like 4 or 5 different blues, light blues and dark blues and blue greens, but then you just get a violet. Not even like a blue violet. You don't get a light violet. Like finding a color like this bright lavender type color, or this one. Look at that. You can get even, what's this one? Blue Violet Lake. So it's a blue violet, but it's got some white in it to make it lighter. Some of these I have to actually like look for separately. Which, thank goodness that Prisma will do that, is that they will sell individual colors. Hearing a lot of rain outside right now. Sorry, I'm pressing so hard it's shaking a little bit. Just gonna sneak in and blend a little more of this red back into it. Especially in these areas that are supposed to be a little bit darker. You can see me rubbing at it. Color pencil usually doesn't blend too much with a finger. It's not like oil pastels, but it will do a little bit if the color is on thick enough. So like if you don't have white paper showing, you can usually sneak in with your finger and help level it out a bit. Nice. Okay. So for the colors on the headband, I think we're going to be alternating. We're going to use some of the orange. We're going to use some of the, let's use the crimson red. And we're going to use the dark Tuscan red. So we're going to keep those two off to the side for now, because we're just going to use the middle color as the little top point. Oh, sorry. Ooh, squeaky. What do we call this? The top of the envelope? I'm going to use it for the top of the envelope. Super tiny details. So a little part on her arm there didn't get colored in all the way. It's a good color too. Oh no, broken. It's alright, gives me a nice sharp point then, don't it? Makes you wonder one day if they'll actually be able to find a way for us to, as humans, to survive on another planet. We'll be able to build space on Mars. Have people actually live there. It's crazy. Crazy things to think about. But wouldn't it be cool? Alright, we're gonna go now with, let's go with our yellow. We're gonna do every other one. Between the yellow and it's dark red. Sharpening. Oh no, I've made it smaller. What? Here we go. And aside from there not being breathable air on Mars, the temperature changes a lot, I hear. It's further from the sun, so, and it doesn't have the same atmosphere that we do that protects us. So I'm pretty sure it goes between super hot and super cold. You never like to stand up better, do you? There we go. I started with this one because it had a little bit of the skirt color got into it, and it'll just cover up better using the darker color. I'll have to make a decision on what to do about these other spaces. I think maybe I'll just go black. Dark, kind of like dark red, like her hair, even. Now, see, the only problem with doing this lighter color now is the paper's already had so many other darker colors, reds and stuff, going over it, so you can kind of see where some of the red is mixing in a bit. So ideally you want to start with lighter color to avoid that happening. if this would help if I put you guys at a bit of an angle here. This is a test. You're not quite looking straight down on it now. But maybe it won't unfocus quite as much. You can kind of see my hand now. It actually seems a little better. Good to know. We've been at it for an hour, but we're so close to finishing, so I think maybe we'll just wrap this up today. She was a quick one. Although, to be fair, I did spend time during my staff meeting working on drawing her. That's it for that part. All right. So let's do it. Let's start with a little bit of this darker red. Oh, and I gotta get her tattoo while we're here, too. Let's use that same kind of bluish color. There you go then. Sneaking a little bit of a lighter red in there just for a bit of a highlight. Okay, and then down to that last little part there. All right. I'm going to get some of these pencils out of the way so we can give this a good shake off. Ooh. Oh, look what I did. Did you see it? Right at the neck there. Someone's going to be watching this video going, Miss Shawn, you missed part. There we go. All right, how about that? She's all set. So tomorrow will be Friday. We'll either start a new character, maybe we'll do something a little different. Who knows? We'll see. She came out pretty cool though, huh? Little do 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 do, head to toe, do 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 do, head to toe. Beautiful. So let's swing this back around here. Ooh. Try to get you set back up so you can see where we're at. Straighten you out. There we go. All right, so that'll be it for today, and tomorrow we'll be at our usual time of 10 o'clock, and we'll do some more artwork. We'll have a little fun with something. I don't know yet. We'll see. It'll be another surprise. Everybody stay safe. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth. Stay home when you can. Talk with people online. Best way to go about it right now, yeah? You guys take care. I'll see you tomorrow, and have a great rest of your day.